What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Airborne in the house, dropping you guys the latest and greatest cryptocurrency news and updates. Today is, what is today? June 16th, 2022. Welcome to another Thirsty Thursdays live stream. Should be a pretty good show for you guys today. We got the special guest, Six Fig Stock Trader. You guys are familiar with him. And yeah, we're just going to, shoot from the hip tonight. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Obviously, the market a little bit. Maybe Voyager stuff going on, do some technical analysis. If you guys have any, just feel free to put them in the comments and we'll try to get to it. Try to keep it to about 45 minutes, 1 hour, but we'll see how the chat section is. If you guys are engaged and whatnot, we'll try to interact with you guys as we go. So before we begin, do a quick crypto market overview. Let me just make sure everything's all good to go. Got Strike in the house. What's going on, man? But yeah, crypto markets getting absolutely crushed right now. Right now, we're down about 7.65%. The total crypto market right now, Bitcoin down about 10.18% after we had that little rally yesterday after the FOMC meeting with Powell and the 75 basis points. I can't talk tonight. Rate hike. It was kind of weird that everything rallied, but I'm not surprised today. Everything dumped. Probably was a fake out. But Bitcoin's down to about 20,407. I think it's holding strong on that 20,000 mark. I don't know if we actually technically broke it yet, but 20,000 is a strong resistance. ETH is down 13.54%. I think there's $1,000 at good resistance there too. I don't think it's broke that yet. It's almost though, $1,069. Yeah, pretty much it's just a total bloodbath. Let's see top gainers last 24 hours. Not much, but Harvest Finance up 14%, storage up 5%, shipping, don't know what that is, up 4.77%. And yen, don't know what that is, but it's up about 1.1% the last 24 hours. Top losers, I'm not even going to go over it, but the worst it looks like, down 31%, is Forta. Never heard of it. Never heard of any of these other ones either. So that's what you have for your losers for the day. Today is June 16th. So kind of holidays we got going on today. Fudge Day, Arborist Appreciation Day, Blooms Day. We got Corpus Christi, Feast of Corpus Christi, Fresh Veggies Day. Actually went out to pick some blueberries today here in Jersey. Hamilton, New Jersey is the blueberry capital of the world. We didn't go to that city. It's about 45 minutes from me. I still want to put that down on my list of things to do this summer, which will be fun to do with the kids. International Day of Family Remittances, International Day of the African Child, National Blooms Day, National Career Nurse Assistance Day, World Sea Turtle Day, Phil Mickelson, and it's Tupac's birthday. There's a whole conspiracy around that people thinking he's still alive, living in like Jamaica or something like that. I don't know. Crypto bubbles, Sea of Red, not surprised, top 100. Let's take a look at favorites. Sea of Red, Voyager token down the most, 18.3%. I think it's sitting around 51 cents. And we got pretty good resistance at 50 cents. But man, if we break that, not looking good. Total crypto market cap still falling, 869 billion. Insane. Let's see. It's always a little bit higher here on CoinGecko from 869 to they're saying about 925 billion, down about 8.5% last 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance collapsing, not collapsing, but man, we're spiking down a lot. 48.36% on June 11th, looking at about 45.05%. So man, if people are selling off their Bitcoin and their altcoins, where are they putting it? The US dollar. DXY is on fire right now. How much higher can we see the DXY? I want Six Fig to do some TA on this. I think it'll be pretty interesting to see because obviously when the DXY is up, the whole crypto markets are always down. And traditional markets, same with that. Going along with traditional markets, got wrecked today. Looks like futures, though, are up a little bit. But yeah, the whole world, global markets, everything is just getting completely wrecked. Bitcoin TA, I'm not even going to really go over this because Six Fig will destroy it. Since I'm just trying to get there. I'm trying to just learn basics, a couple indicators here and there. just to look off of. This is what the daily, far away from the cloud here. We're way oversold on the daily here. Even on the weekly, I do believe this is like the most oversold in the weekly we've ever seen in Bitcoin's history going back, it looks like. So, but you can still be oversold. The market can keep continuing to fall. I do know that, but I'm having hope that the 200-week moving average is going to help us out here. We still got a couple days left for that, for the closure of the weekly 200 weekly moving average. You guys can see here we did wick. Looks like we did wick down. I don't want to say we went below 20,000, but I don't know. I guess I could zoom in here. I think we just touched like 20,000. I want to say that the 200 weekly is like 22.4 thousand. So as long as we close hopefully above 22.4 thousand by Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, we should be hopefully good. But, you know, we're just in different times now. Lots of geopolitical, macroeconomic things going on. But if you guys weren't aware, every time Bitcoin has touched the 200-week moving average or even wick below it, this is the COVID crash, we've seen kind of a run up in all of Bitcoin's history. Could times be different, history not repeat itself for the first time because everything crazy that's going on in the world? Yes, but this is like one of the only hopes I have left right now with Bitcoin in the crypto space is this 200 weekly moving average. All right. So all that being said, we're going to bring in our special guest of the night. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Six Fig stock trader.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? It's good to be here. It's been a while, so thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Just trying to stay alive in this whole crypto bear trend, bear market, whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to pay attention to what's going on for my mental sake and whatnot, but I'm trying not to check my app, my phones, all my crypto 24/7 because it's just not healthy, guys. Like I'm trying to get outside more, go for a run, hang out with the family, go into the ocean tomorrow. Just
nice,
man. Like I'm just everyone's just so fuddish right now. Like it's absolutely insane. Like it's not. I don't like seeing. I like to at least try to stay positive, but it's really hard right now. I know for some people it's absolutely insane. It's just at least with the crypto markets. Not even talking about the traditional markets. It's just like been a whole whirlwind of things that's been happening, starting with the Luna collapse, the Celsius thing, the 3AC Voyager FUD that's going on and whatnot. It's just been insane. But man, I have like, when was the last time would you say you felt this bad? Like, I know you've been through the 2008 crash. I wasn't really paying attention to markets and stuff back then. I don't know if you have. Like, when have you felt like this much FUD and fear in the markets, would you say?
Man, I'll say like the FUD and fear, I can separate that out. I can tell you guys two different things on that. And I'll start off with the fear part of it. Really, the last time I think I felt like this much fear really was when the coronavirus crash happened. And really at that time, I was not involved with cryptocurrency at the extent that I am today. I was messing around with it a little bit, but when I was in like the stock market, for example, I didn't get hosed too bad, but that when we realize those bottom prices, it kind of feels like it does now in the crypto world. And I do think like there is some relevance there when we look back at that whole crypto crash from the coronavirus. That was really a globally impacted crash. Like everybody around the world felt the same thing at the same time. And then we saw the crypto markets like boom. And then, so here we are again, 2 years later, the world is feeling this financial noose instead of a viral noose. It's financial this time, this crisis, which could possibly be extended now to like 2027. I was reading, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But, I think they're probably going to pump this thing to death until they absolutely can't anymore. And we see some sort of Great Depression or something happen. But really, when I look and compare like these time frames, that the 2020 March era feels just like it kind of does today. Just that same level of fear. And, when you speak of like the whole FUD thing, And you mentioned like Voyager. I've been just loosely keeping an eye on this Voyager situation. And when it comes to finding out like FUD and what's going on, I just want to just urge people, because I've been through this recently with Internet Computer. When I started working for Internet Computer back in April, I felt a lot of communities kind of turn on me. And so when we look at that type of thing, when that starts happening and the communities start collapsing based off of false information and false knowledge, and not having all the information being there available, just wanted to warn people, don't turn on Voyager, don't turn on the community, because really this news just came out. We got to at least give Voyager some time to settle down, to come up with a plan. We don't even know what's going on. That's just the fact. And so when we look at that, that bigger picture, what were you thinking about Voyager last week? Did you believe in Steve? Did you believe in the platform? Of course. I don't think he's stupid by any stretch of the imagination to put Voyager in a position where it would collapse the entire platform. They just wouldn't do it. And on top of that, the last time they did, they reported their earnings, which was quarter, I don't know, what was it, 4 or 3 or whatever. They were sitting on some pretty good cash reserves. They're sitting on 250 million cash and $5.5 billion worth of assets. So when we start looking at this in a bigger picture, okay, let's just say they took a lick for a few hundred milli. This is a publicly traded company.
Mm-hmm.
Their ability to get loans and convertible loans, things like that, this happens all the time in the stock markets. We see companies that need money. Boom. They can get loans on an instant to save the entire platform if they wanted. And really, they have a great business model that works. So, and it's one of the best trading platforms really out there, as far as just having the everyday user buy and sell crypto. Like it is the app. It's not necessarily like a high frequency trader app yet, but I think it'll get there in time. So I just want to say, like, when I look at all this FUD happening in these discords and stuff like that, it just, the last 2.5-3 months for me, I've been going through the ringer with ICP because they were accused of a lot of rug pull accusations. And I did a ton of research based off of just public information. I was able to connect the dots where FTX had deployed a short sale attack on ICP. In addition, we were able to link a bunch of paid money to some sham reporting agency to put out a bunch of FUD on ICP, and that information was all paid for by some billionaire that we linked it to. And it's I won't go on any further. I could go on and on about that whole situation.
Yeah.
But my point is, the information wasn't all there until somebody like myself went in and dug the whole thing up. And that's what I'm saying is, with this Voyager thing, we got to just wait to dig everything up. And I'm sure things are going to work out.
Yeah.
People are pissed. But really, until we know the entire story, I don't think that we really have the right to doubt Steve and the team like that. That's just my opinion. I don't have any skin in the game with Voyager token. I personally sold off at about $3.50, somewhere in there, because I knew that the token could have possibly gone lower, and I just never got the chance to get back in. But these prices look tempting, to be honest with you.
And that's the thing with all that's going on. It's just all the FUD with the Voyager token and where it's at right now. And then going even back to the 3AC company. And I haven't done enough research to talk about it. This is just from me just skimming all the FUD crap going on today. And apparently I guess they started in Singapore, their operations or something. And then they moved to Dubai where they're at. And they had their hand in all different sorts of crypto companies that they were, I guess, lending money out to, like good people, maybe bad people. It's just all hearsay from what I've been looking at like the last couple of days and whatnot. So if Voyager is a part of it, I mean, could they? Yeah, I mean, they could be. And will they lose money? Maybe. I have no idea. That's why when you look at Voyager right now, everyone's mad because they want something to be put out right now. But it's like you said, they're a publicly traded company. They really got to have their lawyers and everyone do the research on this company before they put out official statement, which hopefully we hear something within the next day or two. I mean, I don't think they have to put anything out, right? But from an investor standpoint, I definitely think it's something that would ease a lot of the minds of Voyager community and Voyager investors and whatnot. So we'll just have to wait and see, basically. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you could put out any message to anybody that's watching this, that's heavily invested in the Voyager VGX community, the heroes, the platform, just wait. And a lot of times, like you said, Voyager will put out a statement. There's no question about that. But I think that when we see these type of statements, usually they're deployed after hours, maybe on like a Friday to give people and institutions the weekend to digest everything. That I think is a possibility. Maybe not. Maybe they'll release it before market open. But the thing is, you have to remember that there's business ethics that go into releasing these types of statements. Not to hose options traders on a Friday when their contracts are going to expire, like stuff like that. They are just trying to let the market news soak in. When they release the statement, whatever it is, we'll have to just see what it is. I don't know. It's just kind of my take on things. I think it's going to be okay. Not financial or trading advice, but I think there's a lot of companies that probably go through this that you just never hear about, these types of situations happening.
Yeah. So, and there's so much, there's so much scammers and like Ponzi's in the crypto space. I think this bear market, this bear trend is weeding out all the ones, is exposing all these people. You know what I mean? So I think when we do bounce back from this, because this isn't going to last forever, you're going to have top companies like Voyager come out on top, in my opinion. I think so. It's a flush. I think it's a flush that the crypto market needs right now. It sucks, yes, right now for Voyager and whatnot, but we all know what's coming. We just have to deploy patience, which is one of the things that not many people have. Right. And I think they'll come out strong. Like, even if we do take a hit right now, we still know all the different new products that are coming. Yes, Voyager hasn't been hitting all their timelines with their products and whatnot. But there's this platform, I think, is going to come out strong on top with who knows what other top companies out there. But even look at like Coinbase and whatnot. They're laying off like 1,200 some people or something like that. Gemini put out something. And Voyager, they haven't said anything about, firing people or they're laying off people. I think Binance put out a statement the other day that they're making a big hiring push. And I don't know if it was KuCoin or OK Coin or someone is doing another hiring push. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, man. That's just the thing. We just have to hurry up and wait. As that's just unfortunately what has to happen. I know people are following following wallets, stuff like that. But, you have to keep in mind that accounts for a very small percentage of, what could possibly be going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Money wires are a thing that you can't track, really. I mean, I'm just kind of speculating on other stuff. There's wallets probably out there that are just unknown to the public that Voyager owns. So, really, until they put out some concrete statement, this is what happened, this is what we're going to do to fix it, I think the public can make up their mind at that time to say, hey, I'm either going to support this or not. Simple as that.
Yep. All right, now that we got that out of the way, which that was good. I like that.
I feel like I gotta smoke a cigarette or something.
I
I don't
know.
even smoke.
Cheers to Thirsty Thursdays, everybody.
Yeah, no kidding.
Smash that thumbs up button, guys. I got to plug that. Got 21 of you guys in here. Appreciate it. Hanging out on this Thursday night. You guys could be doing anything else, but I don't know. What do you want to do next? You want to jump into some TA, or I don't really have any more market talk. I think we kind of covered everything. Basically.
Yeah. Let's jump into
like total crypto cap
TA.
might be good. Maybe Bitcoin dominance, DXY. I don't know. Just the macro Bitcoin.
I like it. Let's start off with Bitcoin first, and then we're gonna cover. I'm gonna share my screen to you. What the?
Yeah, I'll be curious to hear your thoughts on Bitcoin and the 200-week moving average, or if you have any other indicators. I think you probably would be able to share with us trends that you've seen from the past that have held up. But then again, that's the thing. People are just like, with technical analysis, with all the stuff going on, you got to take it with a grain of salt. So, but it still is a good thing to at least have in your tool.
Yeah, absolutely. I got some decent stuff here I'm going to show you, and really, these are paid indicators that I'm going to break out first. And for those of you guys that have watched some of my content, things like that, let's just flip this over to the weekly. And so what I've got pulled up right now, folks, is this Bitcoin investor tool. And really, this is about a 730-day close. And what you're seeing here is this green line. Can you guys hear like a banging in the background?
A little bit.
I'm not sure what's going on upstairs. My goodness. Sounds like freaking World War II. So
what is this indicator called again, you said?
So this is called the Bitcoin investor tool. And so what this is it's simply a 730-day moving average. And this is something that you can deploy on your own charts, and I highly recommend it. Now, the other thing that you're seeing up here is a 730-day moving average as well. It's just elevated upwards a little bit. So you guys can kind of see that it's very similar, almost exactly the same. So with that said, when we look at this Bitcoin investor tool and we look at the most prime time that you could have ever invested into crypto was, underneath the 730-day moving average. Back in the 2014-15 bear market, this was a prime time to pick up crypto. We can see that, right? And same with this little area in here during the 2018-2019 bear. It was a brief bear. It looks like it went for like maybe a 6-month period, but look at, we dropped below the 730-day moving average, bounced off the 200, and it was like gravy from there. So when we look at like the coronavirus, for example, and what happened, and this is, kind of going back to what I was talking about and what you had brought up earlier, Airborne, when you're talking about the fear that we're experiencing in the market right now. This was a scary ass time to be in the market, March 2020. I had probably lost over 5 figures around this time, which I was fortunate because I was able to sideline most of my assets at that time in the stock market. But here we came down, bounced on the 200. We wicked down several weeks, and you can see that led into bigger and better things, also known as the 2021, 2022-ish bull market that was. And so when we look at where we're at right now, this is kind of where I'm getting excited, because even though things have sucked really bad for everybody, doesn't matter if you're into Bitcoin, Voyager token, Rocket coin, you name your favorite coin. It sucked since
Rash
November.
Coin.
Yes.
Yep.
And so what do we got? We've got like 5 or 6 weeks now underneath the 750-day moving average. And I don't want to just say go all in right now because we're under the 750-day moving average. So far, we have history repeating itself. Is it going to happen again? We have to always proceed with caution when we fall into these levels, because history may not repeat itself. And instead of just getting this ABC corrective wave, we might get the DE corrective wave that completely pulls our pants down and bad things happen. So with that said, it is what it is. I'm hoping that right now, just based off this chart, you guys know I am a big fan of Ichimoku cloud trading. One thing I'm liking here, very thin cloud cover. So this makes it easy for price action to break through if we get some bullish momentum. The price right now, in my opinion, is too far from the Ichimoku cloud. And that's usually a good sign when you see price too far from the cloud, that it's going to get reeled in or it's going to go up. So here's another example. I mean, if you look at this and then you look at this, it looks very similar. And you can see how price, this is a little bit thicker portion of the cloud, but it is what it is. I'm hoping that the distance here is kind of relevant to like the distance here. You guys can kind of see where I'm going with. Like, I think that we'll possibly end up seeing some sort of symmetrical triangle squeeze in this time frame, and I'm hoping at that time it gives the market enough time to cool off to at least come up and maybe retest the 730-day moving average and this 50-day moving average as well. The last thing we want on this weekly chart, and keep in mind, the last thing we want on the weekly chart is for this 50 moving average to death cross the 200. That's the last thing that we want. It's possible it could happen. I've got some crazy little theories here too. On the Bitcoin.
What about your time sequence, if you want to touch on that real quick? That payoff of this big drop we just recently had pretty much in a day or two.
And so the last time I was on your show, I made that wild prediction, and I was like, listen, June 13th, 14th, be ready, because we might have this reversal. And you guys can see when we measure this first bull run, the peak to the bottom, what happened? Well, it kind of predicted this increase in volatility here. I mean, price is already kind of going up here, but I would say at around this point, it really accelerated. And of course, it predicted the bottom here almost to a T. And so now we've got this time sequence showing up this week. So with that said, what's going to happen? Like, we just have to wait and see. And hindsight is 2020 with this. Are we going to see some sort of grand inverse head and shoulders like this? Are we going to see some little baby inverse head and shoulders like this happen? Are we going to see this corrective wave continue like this? We just have to wait. But for now, I think that a symmetrical triangle or a bear flag possibly is in order to really, maybe get a little bit of a bounce. I would ideally like to start seeing some green spinning tops like we saw back here with the coronavirus launch. And I really, ideally, I don't want to see this candle close below the 200. And for those of you guys out there and gals that don't know how to read a candle, I'm just going to give a quick little educational on a candle. I'm looking for something with double wicks. So this week, this candle right here, when we look at this body, we've got the close and the open, and then that's what the body of the candle stands for. And really what these wicks stand for. So we got a wick all the way up to the top. That means during this weekly session, price reached this $59,000 level. And during this session, price reached $44,195. So when we look at these candles, it's important to really pay attention to like these wicks and these spinning tops. I'm hoping that's what we start to see, is a little breakdown of spinning tops. very similar to this symmetrical triangle that we're seeing right here. I'm hoping we get another one of these, but off of this this large bearish engulfing candle. I'm hoping we don't see the continuation happen. So it is what it is. But let's talk a little bit about market hopium here. How many people we got in here?
You got 22 people.
Okay, right on. So let's go ahead here, and I'm going to just inject a little hopium into this session. And we are going to be looking at this Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve. This is something that I pay for to share with you. So here's a great example of, when we look at this growth curve. Okay, last time Bitcoin penetrated through this lower portion of the growth curve, like Bitcoin took off like a rocket. And what we're seeing here is something very similar. But let's just do this and keep in mind that Bitcoin could absolutely decimate and destroy this growth curve to the point where it's just not even usable. But let's just say that Bitcoin decides to maybe get a V-shaped recovery like we got back here. Now let's just go ahead and clone, and this is all entirely possible. Let's just go ahead and clone this quick, and I'm just going to line this up with.
Oh, this was your tweet the other day, right? You were talking about?
Sure was. And if you start to look at stuff like this, it's totally possible to see some sort of crazy squeeze happen up to maybe 300,000, a $250,000. Is it going to happen? Who knows?
I don't know about that, but that would be awesome.
I tell you what, when
how much
Bitcoin
money would need to be pumped in the market though for that to happen? If like
good trillions, couple trillion for sure.
That's like if everyone's like, oh, F the stock market, let's just go straight crypto and Bitcoin. Like that could be like a big black swan. Like everyone's turning to crypto because they don't want the dollar anymore. Inflation, like it's a possibility. I don't know though.
But even if we came back up and hit this middle band, we're still looking at $125,000 Bitcoin, which isn't too far off from what people were kind of expecting anyways. I definitely think that Bitcoin will hit 100,000, 125,000 in time. That's just a 5x from here. So we're looking at roughly 2.5 trillion, maybe 3 trillion. And the thing is, this can be a whole different thing. Like it could just be some sort of crazy short volume squeeze up to these prices too. So if that does happen, the world is about to end. I mean, in terms of the price of this thing, because man. So that's Bitcoin.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore with price predictions and like the world market. It's just so insane, especially like when you think back to, you got the rate hikes, the 75 basis points. They said I think they were planning on 50 basis points for this last FOMC meeting, and then it went to 75, and then there's next month's going to be 75. Like they're just going to keep raising it. So it's like,
yeah, we're going to see some, that's definitely going to impact, some things, and life goes on as we know it. Next big thing for Bitcoin dominance, November 28th. So keep that date open. Let's see what happens there. Looks like there might be some sort of little Elliott wave theory move, quite possibly to the upside, or maybe even like a head and shoulders that is forming. We don't know, but I can see that there is this potential for a neckline here. And I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see dominance do one of these things. But all we know is that there's a date of November 28th, or I should say the week of November 28th would be more appropriate. Let's just go ahead and measure this swing low to this swing high. And really, we're kind of getting like a double confirmation on this date. So week of November 28th, December 19th, somewhere in there, I think is going to be somewhat of a significant event, quite possibly. So I know it's a long ways out. This is just Bitcoin dominance that we're talking about right now. So
It's really trying to get through the cloud right now. That thick cloud.
yep.
Whew.
On the weekly it is. So it whether or not it'll make it, I guess we'll just have to see. If it does, we'll know Bitcoin's pretty strong.
What about on the daily? Is it?
Let's check it out.
I'm just curious.
Okay, so yep,
Back. Okay.
dominance is definitely struggling, but we also might have. Man, I was gonna say we might have some sort of ascending triangle or something like that happening. Really, from here we are seeing these lows get higher and higher, so it's going to be interesting to see where this thing drops on this daily. There's just a lot of chop here, and this could almost be construed as like some sort of massive, I don't know, bear flag, something like that. But we got, a healthy triple bottom here, double tops on the chart here. This just is one of those things where we gotta wait and play. Wait it out. There might have been some sort of inverse head and shoulders that formed here and then failed. When we see the breakdown of patterns and stuff like that, things get dicey. But
Which
yeah,
kind of it could kind of transition into why are people selling off their Bitcoin and the DXY is pumping now? Like how much longer is the DXY going to keep pumping?
Right. I wonder that too.
I think you talked about it a couple times.
Yeah, and so like the thing with like the whole Bitcoin thing going on, I mean, we're seeing a lot of short attacks being perpetrated right now. FTX is borrowing crypto like ETH and Bitcoin from as many people as they can to basically short it. And what they're doing is we saw them attack Celsius, and FTX is basically borrowing coins, and then what they are doing is turning around and selling them, and they are tanking the market, and basically they are meeting futures contract needs that they have put out there. So basically they can just short the market and just make money hand over fist. Basically when they tank these, like let's just say they borrow 100 Bitcoin from Celsius at 50,000. All of a sudden FTX is able to manipulate this market so that prices go way down. They replace that 100 Bitcoin with, that was 50,000 when they got it. Let's just say they replace it when Bitcoin is at the price of 20,000. They get to keep 30,000 per coin. So when they're doing this, hundreds of thousands of coins at a time, like you guys can see how much money there is to be made through these exchanges. And the stuff that I've exposed about FTX in the last couple of weeks, they are one of the shadiest ass companies and exchanges out there. I mean, I'm talking, they are downright evil from some of the stuff that I've been involved with researching. So that's for another story. But that's Bitcoin dominance. There's just, it's kind of hard chop to read. Looks like there's a trend line here. Maybe we'll get some sort of ascending triangle build up or something, or head and shoulders strip things down. Let's go and look at some other coins. Do you have anybody in the comments section that is looking?
I think we should maybe do Voyager token. There's a lot of my followers or subscribers, obviously, like VGX, CKB. That I saw some people in there. Maybe hit up those two.
Yeah. So let's look at Voyager token first here. So this sucks to see it like this. But here's the scoop with this. I think that when we start analyzing these distances from the Ichimoku cloud, like this is going to represent when buyers are going to step in, quite possibly. I know there's a situation going on with Voyager token right now. Like it is what it is.
That's
So,
probably definitely why people are selling off right now.
yep. And so you have to kind of keep that in mind, that this could go lower than, we might expect. But right now, just looking at the way this is formed out, the way this is so far away from the Ichimoku cloud, it's giving me these vibes like there might be a little bit of a bounce coming. Again, this is me talking like in a traditional setting without news events impacting the market.
Yeah, I was about to say a time sequence. Like, who knows? Maybe they'll come out with some positive news or something tomorrow, and that will bring us back up. I mean, I have no idea.
So if and when that news comes out, you'll probably start to see some symmetrical triangle form or something like that. Bear flag, whatever it is. If it's positive, you might see this thing take off. Just keep your eye on June 21st. I believe that's Tuesday next week. So, I don't know. We just have to really kind of keep our eyes open. You can kind of see that there's almost this little double bottom forming on the daily candles. So we had a wick down to like the 50-cent level, and then today we had a wick down to the 50-cent level. So what's it trading at right now? 52 cents, 52 cents, and 52.5 cents. So yeah,
What's the resistance level that we're looking at? Like, what's a strong resistance if you put up a Fibonacci?
Oh
level?
yeah. So
I'm
let's
just
check
curious
that out.
it seems like 50 cents seems like it's a psychological resistance or something.
Yeah, it seems like a good bargain. So let's just do this. So I'm just going to measure off this low here, which really had nothing to do with what's going on now. We might see a 34-cent VGX, but if we go ahead and just kind of move this up to like right around in here, and this is all very subject to change. Maybe this 44-cent level, this 30-cent level, may be a point. I'm not trying to scare anybody with these prices here because I know there's a lot of people invested. And really, this news and atmosphere, it's like lighting a match at a gas station, for good or bad. I mean, we could see price tank. We could just see it take off. So I think, man.
Yeah, because the volume is so low. Actually, I'm curious to see what the volume is. Let me just check it real quick. The most volume we had was a little bit ago with the announcement of the VLP 2.0 and whatnot. But right now, trading volume 3.5 million. That's actually a lot right now. The last 24 hours, at least according to CoinGecko, because when we didn't have really much news and everything going on, the trading volume was terrible. It was only between about $500,000 to about $2 million.
Okay. That seems low.
Yeah, but that's why with any good news, this token pumps. You can see how it pumped from, what is it, the 127 there back a couple days ago or whatever. Like, it jumped all the way up to $1.40 almost.
Yes.
So
yeah, and here's another thing, which is this is kind of refreshing to see this here. And, when we talk about retracements and things like that, and when I talk about seeing this price too far away from the Ichimoku cloud, things like that. So when we go ahead and throw up this retracement from this little tiny wick down here on October 27th to this wick up here on November 21st, I remember this pump. And so what I'm seeing here is that price is obeying this line here, this 100% line, but I'm also seeing that price is obeying this 127, which is a very common point for prices to work their way down to before they reverse. It's either this or the 161.8, and I don't think that the 161.8 at this point would even be possible to hit. So hopefully it doesn't go into the negative. Everybody owes VGX, or
yeah.
But I think that at this point in time, we could very well be gearing up for a potential bounce to the 73-cent level. Doesn't seem like a lot, but 25% from, or 20% somewhere in there from where we're at. Whether or not it passes go is dependent on the current situation, I think, and it just is what it is.
Yeah. Any news, positive news? I mean, you could see what the VLP 2.0 announcement did. By the end of this month, all of the debit cards are supposed to be out of beta and released to the public. So if you did pre-order or pre-signed up for that debit card, that should be released by the end of the month. So who knows, any type of positive news like that or any surprises could push it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm waiting for my card. Because I was telling my wife, I said, I want to start paying our house with this thing, our
Yeah,
house payments, stuff like that.
They just enabled the ACH outgoing withdrawals and transfers and all that stuff today too, which is good.
Okay.
I actually paid my taxes with it the other day and it worked.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
Getting money back on your taxes.
Although you don't get rewards though, but they're working on something, I guess, from what I hear.
Okay.
Where you'll maybe get like a certain amount back, or there's like going to be a cap or something. I know that, but that's not confirmed, but rumored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's VGX, man. I wish there's more I could do for your community here, and
yeah.
It's right now. It's kind of looking like we could be entering into some sort of stall, sideways trade, something like that. But yeah, there's a lot of CKB people hanging around. Voyager.
I haven't been covering it a lot lately. I really don't know what's going on with it. Do you like any?
Oh yeah. Yep, I sure do. So yeah. I cover this one quite a bit. This is definitely one of my underdogs, my favorites. I just have always liked CKB. I like the team. There's that old saying, do you invest in the tech or do you invest in the team? Well, I just tend to invest in the team because, I'm not tech savvy, but I know I can read people in the tech and stuff like that. Going back to Voyager too, a lot of people invest in Steve. They investing in Voyager's capabilities, which so far they've proven more than capable to run a decent crypto exchange. And the tech's there, easy platform, things like that. But yeah, so here we are with this Fibonacci channel. This is what this is called, and this has really served us well to try to gauge where prices are going with CKB. I've had this chart up now for months, and I've basically said that watch out for this 0.0035-ish area. I can't believe we're seeing CKB at these levels.
I know,
but it is what it is.
They launched on Voyager app. It was, I think they launched at like 0.008. I want to say back in February 2021 ish.
This was the Voyager pump right here, February 24th. Yeah. And I remember being on the phone with you, and we loaded up on CKB.
Yeah,
and we're both going on the phone. We're effing rich, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then CKB just took off. We made some good money that night. I'll never forget it. But yeah, right now CKB is obeying this Fibonacci channel. It's been drained down with the rest of the market. Everybody's coin is down.
Yeah.
And really, this is what I'm hoping to see with Voyager token. I hate to keep bringing up Voyager token because I know everybody's pissed off. But I'm hoping that we see some sort of symmetrical triangle form, and I think that this relationship of price is just too far away from the Ichimoku cloud. Paired by this RSI, it is absolutely going through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
So the strength's just not there. So there's room for buyers to step in. My main concern is if CKB drops below like 0.003, I think that there's a chance that we'll come down to test this support at 0.00267-ish, somewhere in there. That fails. 0.002434. I mean, folks, like that would be a time to drop like $100 bill on CKB. Just for like long-term. Marcos in the comments, not even on Coinbase yet. When it does, boom. That's right. I mean, we saw the effect that Voyager had on it. So
And that
Yeah.
gets into another, I think you actually did a video on this a while back, is it even worth mining or just buying it at this point?
Yeah.
Type of thing. Which I have my mining profits for CKB have been insanely good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people, we've talked about this, are turning off their miners
Mm-hmm.
because they're not making much profits. Meanwhile, I'm making almost double the amount with my 5 CK boxes than I was prior to whenever, November, or I don't know. I was only making like, let me see. I have it pulled up. So like I was making, that doesn't let me go all the way back, but off the top of my head, I was making like 350 to 400 CKB a day on 5 CK boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm making 600 to about 730 a day with 5 CK boxes. So granted, it's not that much because of the price is so low, but just think if this thing takes off again during a bull trend or the next bull market, this is going to be pretty profitable. So that's the way I look at it. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a catch-22. Right now I'm mining at a loss. I'm not necessarily concerned about it, really, because I'm doing two things. I'm stacking coin. We're able to mine more, and I'm speculating that the price is eventually going to go way back up. And on top of that, I'm okay with getting CKB at 0.009 cents. That's my cost per CKB. But like you said, we're mining and able to get a lot more out of our miners right now versus a few months ago. And yeah, it's just something else. And I believe in the project, so I don't mind it. And what's nice is if you decide to get into mining, know how much it's going to cost you per month and just be okay with it costing you X amount of dollars per month. I think my mining setup cost me like what, $200 a month or something to run 7 miners. Like that's nothing. So I'll just mine coin and stack it. $200 a month. I don't care what happens. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. What do we got for other crypto?
Marco said, I actually watched this video today. He said, my tolerance for Vosk is about 90. Oh, well, not that. Strike said it. Anyone see what Vosk is doing with his solar mining farm? Yeah, he's like building a legit Bitcoin farm. Like he's out. I think he's out in like Virginia, out in the mountains or something. But he bought like a huge plot of land. He's setting up all these solar panels and like doing all this. He just put out a video earlier today. I was watching it. It was insane. Like I would love to do that one day. If crypto ever takes back off again, I'm definitely going to do something like that.
That would be sick. That would be sick. Yeah, he's got a cool setup. So
what's up, Baroness? You guys off your Twitter spaces? I saw VGX or Voyager Twitter spaces. They usually flock in here sometimes.
Nice. Yeah, so we got the entire crypto market cap, folks, and we're gonna deploy. Let's just go ahead and deploy. Oh my God, my eyes! My Bitcoin investor tool, and we'll just kind of see where this thing's at. So this is possibly going to look exactly like the Bitcoin chart. We can see that in the past, we've seen price come down to this trend line. So we might see, I mean, this is scary to think about. We might see like a $750 billion total crypto market cap, which really, in my opinion, this thing's already at $876 billion. So if we're 870 billion, excuse me. So, I mean, really, if this thing can just trade sideways enough to bounce off this dang line, 750 somewhere in there, we can let the great reset happen.
Basically,
it just is what it is. It's,
is there a 200-week moving average that you have pulled up right there?
So this is this yellow line. Let's look at this on a weekly chart.
Yeah.
Look at the big picture here. So here we have this wick.
Oh, touched it
coming right down to this 200-week moving average, and this 200-week moving average has been a favorite support level for for the total crypto market cap. So even if we just see a quick wick down and up, that might be all we need to send us back into riches beyond our wildest dreams.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can definitely see on the total crypto market cap, head and shoulders pattern played out, and we got this neckline right there. So really, there's no surprise that this happened. One thing that we can do is look for the 161.8 or the 127 somewhere down here. So let's go ahead and throw up this retracement. Okay, so looks like we got the 141 down here. I'd hate to see anything wick down to lower than $700 billion total market cap. How devastating would that be? But it could happen. Let's just go ahead and try this here. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me to see $750 to $800 billion crypto market cap. Goes lower than that, or breaking this trend line, I think we got some issues.
Are there any time sequences you think you could throw up?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's just throw up some time sequences, and we'll start with this swing high down to this swing low here. And boy, you can see that it predicted a reversal point here. So we got another reversal point, November 7th, this fall. So remember earlier in the stream, I was talking about, what was it, November 15th or 19th? Yeah. It's going to be something happening in November, folks. This is
maybe that'll be when we peak out or something like that.
Possibly.
I don't know.
We'll just have to wait
sideways
and see
for a little bit.
Yep. And also pay attention to like the week of September, somewhere in there. Seems to be a halfway decent point to look out to. And it might just be that we see crypto kind of trade sideways all summer, and then boom, I don't know.
Yeah.
We could go over internet computer if you want.
Sure.
Like I said, I started working doing videos for internet computer, just disclosing that.
I'm still waiting to pick up some. I'm gonna wait till it's like the bottom, and
Are you
grab a few $1,000?
I mean, it wouldn't be bad. Like they got a pretty sweet ecosystem, stuff like that. So it is what it is. Do your own research. I'm not here to show you this. That's not my job. They pay me to make videos on the ecosystem. So that's what I'm all about now. But right now we've got a very nice falling wedge. I've mentioned this before. Falling wedges are one of my most absolutely favorite patterns to trade. Great signal that we could be nearing some sort of bottom. And especially with all this news coming out about how ICP was targeted by a billionaire investor tied to Alameda and Solana and FTX, and how FTX was used to basically short sell ICP before it even launched, is suspect. You can't even buy ICP on FTX. So they made this environment where you can short it, but you can't ever cover your short position. So you just have to keep shorting it. It's crazy. But nonetheless, we have this falling wedge here, real thin Ichimoku cloud on the daily. We got this 50 moving average kind of trading right next to this 200. So I'm hoping that if we can see a little bit of bounce and get a little bit of relief in the crypto ecosystem, folks, that we might come up. Bear with me 1 second here. That we might come up and maybe touch on like this 200 moving average somewhere around that $16-17 ish level. If they can get this thing like fully turned around, maybe retest some of these resistance points around $87, the next bull run, something like that. We can see, let's just pretend for a second like this is the bottom. This is all speculative, maybe right up around this $24 range. You could expect it to go to $36. It can only go so much lower before it hits, pennies, stuff like that. But really not much else to say on ICP.
Is there like any news or anything big that's coming that you could share with ICP that maybe could pump it? Like anything they have coming out different?
Yeah.
Or anything?
One thing that they're doing differently is they have basically now they have the ability to they basically integrated Bitcoin into this chain key cryptography. And so what this does is it gives ICP users the ability to control Bitcoin and to send Bitcoin to each other. Like there's this one app called the Open Chat app. You could send ICP or Bitcoin or Ethereum to, like, I could just send it to you right now through a text message. And what it does is it actually controls that cryptocurrency on their native network. So by doing that, you could control Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network. You could control Ethereum on the Ethereum network and really not be subjected to, sending that money through a bridge or wrapping the ICP or Bitcoin, things like that. So it's kind of really a transformative thing in that sense, because you don't have to worry about bridge attacks, things like that. It's like crazy. So that is coming out pretty soon. They are looking to launch that. They've got a hackathon going on right now. I checked today, they had more dev commitments than Ethereum. But they've been in, like, they've got about 2,000 developers building on ICP right now. It's like the ecosystem is just, it's growing so fast that I can't even like keep up with producing content about different dApps on their ecosystem, stuff like that. But it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
I'm not here to shill anybody ICP. Like I said, I get paid by them. So, to make content, just overviews about certain dApps that are on their ecosystem. So is what it is.
I got to check that out. I know I've been putting it off, but it
decent.
seems interesting to look into. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I got my like main coins that I look into, and it's just, especially during the bear market, I'm not trying to get anything new right now because
right.
Everything is, you don't know what's going to happen. So. But at least maybe buy a little bit at the bottom and then start, if everything starts picking back up, who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
You never know. I mean, it's kind of like one of those things where you could just print off a page of paper with all the cryptocurrencies, throw a dart on it.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, I'm sure people
Basically.
do that. I mean, it is what it is. So there's not really much else to discuss about ICP.
Let's go over. We got the press here. ADA gang Cardano. That was my.
ADA.
That one got me. I did pretty well on that the last couple of years. Sold off a lot of my. A lot of it. I still hold a little bit of it, but I haven't been keeping up with it. I know a lot of people did subscribe to my channel early on when I started this because I covered one of the events they had. I had like 800 plus people on one of my live streams one time. But I know they have something launching here soon. And a lot of people like Cardano. I know that. I can't even think of off the top of my head. See, I can't keep up with everything. I just have like my couple coins that I follow now, and I haven't been following ADA, but I do know they're launching. I don't even want to say it off the top of my head. It starts with a V. I gotta look it up. Press. Do you know what is it that they're launching here soon? It's like their next. Look it up.
Yeah, they I was talking to Marcos about this today. I think they are launching that NFT platform that you can trade, like something like that.
Yeah.
There's that.
Oh man. Oh man, I can't think of the name of it. Someone in the comments probably knows.
Yeah. Well, let's just cruise through this quick. All and whoops, what we can see here is that when we throw up a little retracement, price, it pretty much came down and obeyed this 127. This is, I hate to bring up Voyager token again. This is where Voyager token's sitting at too. That 127-ish, somewhere in there. It's a little bit below it, but I'm hoping that it gets reeled back up into it. And we are seeing that there is somewhat of a symmetrical triangle squeeze that happened. And it almost appears that we saw price break to the downside. So with ADA, I would think at this point in time that we would see ADA cruise back down to like the 40-cent level, maybe for a chance to retest that support level would be my guess. It wouldn't be a bad thing to see a double bottom from here. And at that point, this would turn from a symmetrical triangle into more of a descending triangle, which we might see price just kind of do one of these. Would be my guess on what's going on with ADA. Let's look at this on a daily though.
So I just found it. It's a Vassal hard fork is coming to Cardano here. I think it's like in the next week or two.
Okay.
I pulled up an article. It's the most okay. So it's aimed to address major challenges that the Cardano chain's facing. Vassal hard fork is taunted as a solution to the scaling and high gas fee problems on Cardano. For the longest time, Cardano has been dealing with the issue of low scaling, has been overtaken by the likes of Solana and BitGert, blah, 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 blah. All these combined have been one of the reasons why Cardano blockchain adoption rate has dropped significantly over the past few months. With the Cardano Vassal hard fork, these issues will be addressed to make Cardano one of the most attractive blockchains of 2022. So yeah, quick summary of it. That's apparently what's coming, I do believe, here in the next couple of weeks. So that might be some good news. And every other event that's Cardano has had back in its history, I know it's always been like a buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing. And I don't know if that's going to happen here within the next couple of days leading up to it, because literally every event in the past, the Mary hard fork, all that type of stuff, it's done the buy the rumor, sell the news, and like the day it happens, it just sells off.
Yeah. I remember one time when they had, what was it, International Cardano Day. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a little gamble on this thing, staying up late, waiting for it to be International Cardano Day. And that thing sold off, and everybody sold on Cardano Day. And I was upside down. It was not even funny. But I threw up a little time sequence on Cardano. We're seeing a little swing low from July 2021's lows all the way up to September's high of 2021. And really, we're seeing some interesting, time sequences show up. Really, there was a symmetrical triangle squeeze here that really indicated just a change in momentum. Things started kind of breaking down. Right here, there was this reversal. Price came down. Things reversed, even though it's insignificant, really, in the grand scheme of things. Here's another example. But you can look for Cardano July 7th, somewhere in there. I would say like the week, I'd say around July 4th to the 7th, watch Cardano. We're either going to see price kind of ricochet around in here and then take off either way on that date, or we're going to see price exit early. And, you might see something like this happen or something like this happen. You just have to wait. Just know that there's a potential for increased volatility or a reversal on that day. Could be a simple bull trap like this. I think we're going to trade sideways on ADA for the next 3 weeks.
Press said it in the comments. So yeah, the hard fork's coming the 30th of June. So keep an eye. Maybe we'll pump up to that date here shortly and then dump shortly after, or and then reverse during that time sequence on July 4th or 7th, or who knows? Maybe it'll keep pumping and then it'll dump around that time sequence. I don't know. Okay,
interesting. Yeah. Around that time, there's definitely things happening. Let's see here.
Elizabeth's here.
What's up, Elizabeth? Good to see you. I know that. What did Strika have in mind? Was it stars or something? Stars US is.
I don't know what that is. If there's anyone in the comments or anyone in the chat that wants to
Strike is stars or wrapped ETH? Is it Starship
Troopers?
Stars USD on FTX. Oh yeah.
Starship Troopers, man. I haven't seen that in years.
That was
I don't want to watch that now.
Okay. So this reminds me of ICP. And I want to just see something here. because I noticed this got picked up by FTX. And let's just take a quick look at this really quick, because now I want to see what the perpetual futures did.
Was it recently added to FTX?
Not sure if it will have. It's on osmosis. Okay.
That's not it.
It's not it. Okay. It's not Star Launch Stars. So it's on osmosis.
Yo, 30 and a wake up. What's going on? Dude, if you guys don't follow him, he's oh, don't hate me. You're a Navy veteran, right? He does live streams. He's in like Thailand. He's been traveling the world, retired like for like a couple years now. And he's got some good content. Let's go check him out.
Cool. Yeah, I've always wanted to travel over that way. Starship. It's probably not it. Yeah, we'll have to hit me up, Strike. Just DM me. I'll get you taken care of here. I can't find it. Let's see here. Anything else in the comments? What are we at for time? Hour and 12? Oof. Right.
And that flew by. It feels like we just started.
We haven't done this in a grip.
I know.
What time is it? Okay. Well, yeah. Well, should we just kind of wrap things up? Is there any other coins that people want to just take a look at?
Yeah, let's let the 19 viewers, whoever puts the first coin up,
okay,
we'll do that. 30 wake up was Navy, but spent a year with the 82nd Airborne in Iraq back in the day. Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was in the 82nd for any of you people, if you're wondering. I was in 2nd 325 White Falcons. It was a 2nd Infantry Brigade combat team. I was with them for a couple years. I deployed with them in 2011, and then I went to HHC Brigade 82nd Airborne as a executive officer there for that company, which was fun.
And you oversaw the kitchen? Just kidding.
Yeah.
Looks like we got Crow.
All right. That'll be our last one. DJ Push Play 18. What's going on, man?
So you can see it's been kind of a while since I've looked at Crow. You can see some of my old work that I was messing around with, and I was at the time formulating a plan that this was a falling wedge, just like what I mentioned with ICP, and I thought that the price would go up higher than 0.3, which it did not, because we got sucked into this crypto bear market, but the price went up a little bit. Crypto.com right now, I really want to look at this on, I can't believe this is at 11 cents. My gosh, this is nuts.
I know.
I can remember when this hit, like I was telling everybody about crypto.com. I was like making videos about it when it was right in here, because there was this badass ascending triangle that had formed, and I'm like, dude, this is going to take off. This is going to take off. And then boom, to the moon, it took off. But this was at more expensive levels than we're at now. So this thing reached 99 cents, almost 97 cents. Nuts. 11 cents seems like an absolute bargain to me. No, not financially, trading advice. Almost looks like we may, in fact, have a potential Gartley. Let's just kind of mess with this a little bit. Let's make this last TA like decent. I'm not seeing it. I don't think that this shoulder is going to be high enough. In fact, I know it's not. So let's just go ahead and just try to see if we can come up with any points that this thing is at. You can see that it's cruising right past this 127. We're seeing this symmetrical triangle pattern. One thing that I'm not really liking about this, I mean, this is kind of a borderline. You know, I could see maybe a rebound up to 15 cents to retest this 127. And if it fails, this thing would be destined for about 5 cents with potential stops along the way. You know, 10 cents is going to be a big psychological thing. Maybe this 8 cent level, you can see that back in the day, this 8 cent level-ish, somewhere in there, was a very important support and resistance, even from opening. But we can see resistance here, support here, some support here. So this 8 cents level is going to be a big one to pay attention to. I want to just look at this like on a grander scale. Okay, that's what I figured. So I don't know. I think that with crypto.com, watch that bounce to 15 cents. If it doesn't happen, maybe expect some sort of bear flag and then a drop in price to like that 8 cent ish range. Unfortunately, I hate to see it go that low, but that would make sense to me. And it's a great, I mean, it's a decent platform. I use it to buy a lot of my crypto that I'm going to move off exchange. So CKB, I'll buy it on there because I can't buy it on Voyager and transfer it off. So
that's kind of what I use it for. For Siacoin, I have go there. CKB, Elrond, I can send to my Meyer wallet and whatnot. So
should we look at EGLD quick?
Yeah, EGLD, and then there wasn't one more request of Polkadot. Maybe we knock those two out real quick.
Yeah, we'll check that out. EGLD, man, 50. How did this get down to $51? Jesus Christ!
Really undervalued.
This dude. Do you know what the circulating supply is for this?
20.
Like there's
22 million or something.
That's
like that
right.
Off the top of my head, it's
right.
And like, hold on, I'll tell you something.
I was talking to Marcos about this one today too.
And 22.5 million circulating supply. Total supply is 23.8 million. And the majority of it is locked up in staking right now. I think I have the website saved. It's insane. Stake supply, 12.6 million of it.
Okay.
So more than half the supply is being staked right now. 9.8 million floating.
That's awesome. Right now. So that reminds me a lot of like the ICP situation. I'm bringing this up because it's relevant. They've got I don't know, like 400 million total coins, and 55%, so it's like 239 million tokens are locked up in their staking pool for like the next 2 years or something next 2 to 8 years or something. It's crazy. So yeah, that's cool to see, like half that supply or whatever, a bunch of that supply locked up like that. I like to see that. Right now, we had a very nice Elliott wave theory climb to the upside. This is like textbook stuff that I like to see. And really, we saw this really nasty ABC corrective wave from here. We are looking at this on the daily chart. And let's just look at this on a weekly chart, because that really gives us a little bit of a bigger picture. Again, like I've been kind of talking this whole time, like we're seeing a lot of these prices just way too far from this Ichimoku cloud, in my opinion. It's just too far. So I do think that okay, let's just do this. Now you can kind of see how, bear with me 1 second here. I mean, you can kind of see how prices are interacting with this Fibonacci retracements down, and you can see that this candle is damn near going to close right on the 161.8. So that's a good sign to see. Wick downs, they don't really phase me too much. Hopefully the bottom's $47 for EGLD. 31.93 might be the next stop lower, so be prepared for that. I do think that it could be a possibility for EGLD, but right now for EGLD, I'm thinking a bounce, man. It's just, this is just kind of, I'm getting a little bit of a bounce vibe, at least maybe up to the 750-day moving average, which would be huge. Let's just go back and throw this back up, or even like this $69 level. I picked up an NFT today that had a rarity of 69.4. I was like, that. I wish the last 2 digits were 20 on that.
Yeah,
because that would have been freaking epic. But yeah, watch out for the $69 level. And did I tell you guys that this $69 level for EGLD might be a resistance point?
Okay.
You know, obviously, watch this thing. If it goes lower than 48, know that around 33, somewhere in that neighborhood, might be a stopping point. I'm hoping that we don't see it drift down to this $10 level, because you know, I don't hold any EGLD. It's a project I'm interested in.
Yeah, I have a decent sized bag of it, and just for everyone's situational awareness, I'm on growth.elron.com. It has a lot of the user adoption, total users, a bunch of statistics and stuff. There's about 1.6 million users that hold Elrond. People that hold less than 0.1 Elrond is 292,000 of them. People that have more than one is 198,000. More than 10, 66,000. More than 100 Elrond, only 12,605 people in the world hold more than 100.
So you're saying that 100, over 100, you're pretty much a whale.
Pretty much. So we'll do the math on that. What's 100 times whatever the price is right now? You could be an Elrond whale for
$5,000.
100 times 48. Is that, what is the price right now?
51.
So yeah,
51.
$5,100.
Yeah.
You could be a super whale. There's only 1,452 Elrond users that have more than 1,000.
Wow. Are there any statistics at wallet sizes higher than 1,000 or 100? Excuse me.
I'm sure I could see it on here, but I haven't messed around with it.
That's
But
okay.
yeah, it's
interesting. Even if you could get like 50 or 25 Elrond, or even 10, I mean, really, especially when this thing starts, if it can climb back up to these all-time highs, that's incredible numbers, man.
Elizabeth grabbed 47 Elrond the other day. Nice.
That girl.
All right, let's do one more. I think Rohan Lobo in the chat said dot polka dot.
Look at that. Oh yeah, classic textbook head and shoulders pattern. You can't get any more classic than that. Let's look at this on the daily. Actually, let's go back to that weekly. Sorry, guys. Let's look at this on the weekly again. Reiterating that this price, in my opinion, it's too far from these clouds on this Ichimoku cloud trading. So, this, man.
Yeah, these prices are absolutely insane for DOT. I remember before this bull run of 2021, I was buying DOT between $3 to $5.
Oh, really?
We're literally at that now. It's crazy to see.
For sure. So it's you know, playing off the $6.48-ish level. Really, I think that there could be this chance to see some sort of bounce from these levels. Just based on the distance between the cloud and price doesn't always necessarily mean that, you know, we're going to see some sort of
like there's got to be a relief rally soon here, because
exactly.
this is a trend that we've just seen throughout tonight in your technical analysis, is that there's a lot of these away from this. Everything's been selling off for so much, or for such a long time now. I mean, can we keep going down farther? Yeah, I guess, but there's got to be some type of relief soon.
Since November, it's sucked to be in crypto.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people leave the space.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have too, with the amount of views and stuff you get, all that. I mean, it's insane. I can tell you, November was my best month in YouTube. In that month alone, I had over 100,000 views just in 28 days. It was nuts. And it's like when you see crypto down in the dumps like this, it's so tough to stick with it. And it's just like, I feel like you know, everybody knows really, you know, who's been here, who hasn't. Obviously, you know, we see all these people here during the bull run.
Hey, I'm still here. I don't put as many videos as I'd like, but I'm still here. I've been through this for 4 or 5 years now. So,
Right.
but not to get off too much topic or too off topic from .TA, it goes back to the macroeconomics, inflation. People don't want to invest in crypto or anything right now. People are trying to survive. People are
Yeah.
trying to pay the gas, groceries, like just people are just trying to survive right now. So
Right.
you got to think of, the macroeconomics and stuff too.
Yeah. And I'll get back to dot and stuff like that. But like, just to show you guys, like if you're wondering what a YouTube channel makes in revenue, this was November for me, 110,000 views. I cleared
Oh, wow.
$819
I didn't even know that.
in that
That's
month.
pretty decent.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Like that's good money, man. Like, and then we compare that to the last 28 days. Okay, 16,000 views, $111, like whatever. It is what it is. But you can see how right now we're seeing literally like 1/5, 1/6 of people even interested in like the entire crypto markets. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But let's look at this trend line for dot. I mean, we might get a little bit of a bounce here or something like that. I would watch for this thing to maybe come up to like this $10-11 ish level. But again, like this to me, to see this price so far is just downright bizarre to me. It's bizarre. On a weekly chart. On a daily chart, okay, I can deal with that, or a 12-hour chart or something. But on a weekly chart, what I'm seeing there is very unusual. So it just, I mean, it is what it is. You guys can see. Here's another example. Whoops. Of when dot, and this is what I'm just trying to teach everybody about cloud trading, is like, here's a great example of when price was way too far from this Ichimoku cloud. It kind of looks like it did on the weekly. So hopefully we get a nice little springboard bounce with that. But it is what it is. Let's just look at this on a daily. Symmetrical triangle is forming. I think we're going to see dot for the next few days just kind of do one of these things, and we might see this 50 moving average come down like that. And if we get a breakout, you might come up and test this $9 level somewhere in there. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah,
this stuff is changing so much on the daily. I feel like sometimes I can't even put out a video, and like an hour later it becomes irrelevant because a Celsius event happens or something.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like never ending. Like, this is the most extreme fear. I mean, going back to the fear and greed index, it's absolutely insanity. Like, if I just pull it up real quick, and I always talk about it. Extreme fear 9.7. I don't even remember the last time we saw 7. I was looking back on the charts here. This is the max. This is like we're in this huge chunk of just extreme fear since the 8th of May. Like, this just giant. And then we had 7 the last couple of days. I go all the way back down to here. We had a 5 back in August.
Wow.
I don't know what happened there. 27 August. No.
What?
Sometime in August of 2019.
I'm going to pull up a chart there. Let's do a little investigative work.
Yeah,
Crypto Airborne and 6FIG investigates. That's what we should just start naming.
I think that's the lowest I've ever seen. The fear and greed index was a 5. I don't think there was any 7s here. And during the COVID crash, there was a couple 9.
What date was that again? 2018?
19. It was
19?
What day was that? That might have been the bottom of 2019 in August. I don't know. I don't remember. Man, I can't get it. I hate how this is like that. It was sometime in August.
Okay.
Like 14th or 15th of August, it hit the lowest. But even during the COVID crash, going back to the fear and greed index, it was kind of like what it is now, but we have this clump right here the last 3 days. It's just been bad. I see it all over the social sentiment on, social media and the Discords and Twitter. When is it going to end? That's just the big question. I don't know.
So that was, you said, I'm sorry, August of 2019?
Yeah.
August of 2019.
It looks like it kind of just blipped down. It was just like a couple days. Like there was
Okay.
the 11th of August. We were at a 45. To the 14th was 11. And then, yeah, I don't know. Something happened in August of 2019 where we were doing good and then it just dumped. And then we kind of recovered a little bit.
Well, I'm looking at the charts and it's weird. Like we saw Bitcoin, basically, to give you guys a visual, it went up to like, it went from 9,000 up to like 14,200. And then it did a sharp retracement back down to like 9,300 over the span of like 4 weeks. Who knows? Maybe it's just a glitch or something.
And then I got lookintobitcoin.com. I like this website. This is different fear and greed index, kind of charted out visually. But you can see we've had that sudden drop right here from like the June 9th to today or whatever. You can go back in history.
Like
whenever we have big drops like that, there's ultimate recovery that we've had, like COVID crash, boom. And then, you know, we went from March 16th or whenever it happened until about May 1st-ish is when we finally started to recover. And that's when we took off. But this, just these sudden drops, this is insane where we're at right now.
Yeah, it really is. And you gotta, we gotta understand too, like the contributing factors the last 2 weeks are something that, you know, it's something that we've never experienced before. Collapse of Luna. We saw the collapse of, well, I think Celsius is still trying to stay afloat. I heard.
They put out an email and I got it, and it didn't really answer the questions that everyone's asking and whatnot, like with the withdrawals being paused and everything. So there's a lot of people that have money locked up. They can't do anything with it. And then there's BitBoy out there suing Celsius because I guess he's got a loan to pay off and he has the money available on Celsius to pay it off. They're not allowing him to do it. They want him to put more money in to pay off that loan, which is absolutely ridiculous. So that's it. So I know he's real vocal and whatnot. So he's doing that with Celsius, but I don't know. I don't have any good vibes with Celsius. Luckily, I was able to move off all my Matic I had, all my synthetic network token. I had a little bit of Bitcoin on there like a week ago before it all happened, just because I knew there was people putting out videos and everyone was like, oh, it's just FUD. It's not going to happen. But I've always never really liked Alex Mashinsky and just the way he ran the company and whatnot. So I was lucky to move all my crypto off. But even if they do kind of recover, their reputation's gone, I think. But that's another conversation.
It could be.
But it's just all these events. It's just like one after the other. I feel like, when is it going to end? And times like this, I feel like this is kind of like when we hit rock bottom. But this has been pretty crazy.
Start using drugs and alcohol.
But yeah,
for sure.
That's all I got, man. I don't know.
Same.
Hour and 33 minutes.
We went. This was supposed to be 40 minutes, 45 minutes. It was good. I feel like we haven't done this a sit down, especially during shit's hitting the fan. It's good to just sit down and talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
No.
Airborne, did you upgrade your camera, Marcos? No, I need to though. I have the.
You need to get your GH5 going.
I'm gonna have to mess with that. I still haven't, but I just have I don't even know what this is. It's a HD 1080p Logitech 920. I want to say off the top of my head. It's just a webcam that I use.
I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah, what do you use, a Canon or something like that? Because you tried the GH5, but like wouldn't work out or something. You said. Yeah,
the GH5 was good. It worked out, but I used all my GH5s for like, professional stuff. So it was like unplugging it, replugging it in all the time. So right now I've just got like a Canon 6D Mark II, and I switched up the glass. I switched it up from like this 50 mil lens, and now I've got this. It's called L Series EF glass, which the lens I got on it now is like $1,500.
Jeez.
So, but it definitely does the job. I mean, this thing focuses like crazy.
like
it's just
instant.
tack sharp, and
That's
that's just the
awesome.
way I like it.
All right, guys, I think I'm going to end it here. Again, thank you guys for all coming to hang out tonight. Hopefully we, I don't know, made your guys' lives a little bit easier just talking through this, because we're all going through the same thing here. I try not to be too negative. I mean, like I said, quit checking your phone all the time. Quit looking at the price action. Just get out, go for a run, exercise, hang out with your family, because this is going to end sooner or later. It's not going to keep going down forever. It sucks. I know it does. It's terrible. I'm down hundreds of thousands of dollars. But you got to know, know your personal lives and what you got going on. You got to pay the bills. You got to do the bare necessities and whatnot. So like, if you have all your life savings and everything into crypto, probably not going to make it. So just don't ever invest more than you can afford to lose.
Yeah.
I mean, it all sounds like common sense, but there's people out there that just lose their houses. They go crazy, like just investing in this market. So that's all I got.
That's a good point you make too. Like, if you're into crypto for the long run, what's it gonna matter if you check your phone or check your portfolio today? Like, the market sucks. So not financial or trading advice.
All right, guys, on that note, smash that thumbs up button on your way out. Consider subscribing if you aren't subscribed, and turn on bell notifications so you guys get notified as soon as I upload a video. That's going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to go live tomorrow night. I don't know what's going on. I am going to the beach, so I'll probably be pretty drained from just hanging out in the sun all day with the kids and family and whatnot, but it should be good times. But you never know. If something crazy happens, I'll try to upload a video or make a video or something. But
there you go.
Hopefully you guys have a great weekend. I keep thinking today's Friday too. That's another thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, guys, take care. Have a good one. Crypto Airborne out.